Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infamous NBA Week 2. I am Brock, and I'm riding this episode out solo, but that won't stop me, that won't stop us. We're gonna get through this, and it's gonna be absolutely fucking magical. So let's get into some NBA news, some NBA games, and some hypothetical trades, and some Ben Simmons news, which is always fun because he's the biggest and softest bitch in sports. So let's hop on into that right away. We got a tweet from the man himself, Wojnarowski. Let's read it. It says Brooklyn Nets Ben Simmons is expected to need 3 to 4 months to make a full recovery on back surgery. Sources tell ESPN the expectation is that he'll be ready to return well out of training camp. So, okay, let me get this straight in my mind. I mean, it's a little weird, a little foggy, but okay. So Ben Simmons hasn't played basketball since the year 2020, right? And that year, they lost in Game 6 to the Hawks, and he was here to shoot a layup. He was kicking out. He got 4 points or something. Didn't do shit. Decided, all right, you know what? I'm done with this team. Says I'm not playing until I get traded. I have depression. I'm not playing. So he does that whole ordeal. And finally, at the trade deadline, the Sixers are like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. Get rid of this piece of shit. Let's get James Harden. At the time, it looked like the Sixers won the trade because they got rid of someone who doesn't even want to play for their team for someone who many look at as a superstar. But as it's turned out, it looks like neither team has really won the trade. James Harden's been absolutely dog shit, as we're going to do later for the Sixers. And Ben Simmons still hasn't played a lick of basketball for the Nets. So now he needs surgery. I don't know how he got injured. I don't know if he's had this injury. I don't know if he got injured in training or some bullshit. But he definitely didn't get in the game because he hasn't played a fucking thing of basketball. So he's apparently injured, and the injury was what was it? A alleviate. I don't know how to fucking say that. I'm not a doctor, so don't fucking judge me. But I don't know how to say alleviate. That is not. I thought that was the name. Okay, that's on me. I'll take the foul on that one. I thought that was like the name of what he had. It's alleviate. Took me a second, but I got there. It's all good. And a herniated disc. I know that. I know to say that. So he herniated a disc. Um, I don't know when he did this. I guess in training practice. But I remember him saying before Game 3, I think it was, that it was like all in his head. And he's like, sometimes I wake up and it's like my mind, and I get fucking back pain and I can't play. It's like I have good days, I have bad days. So I guess he had a bad day, couldn't play. But I mean, I don't think this was really stopping him from playing basketball. If I'm being honest, I mean, it definitely hurts and it's like annoying. But this is something definitely could have got done after the season and still played through. I think. I just think he's a big fucking pussy and a fraud, and he's gonna just get his paydays. He's getting a fuck ton of money for not doing a whole lot, so he's gonna keep getting paid, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. He's just a weak-minded individual, just super fucking weak-minded in my eyes. He just plays for just weird reasons. I mean, depression. I mean, it's a real thing, but it's like, man, I don't know. I don't know. You know, we'll see. Ben Simmons, he's on the Nets. Will he play next year? I mean, it's the timetable was for him to be back by training camp, so there is no reason. But I wouldn't be shocked if this saga continues and he ends up pulling some more bullshit and ends up not playing for even longer. We'll see how it goes as we move on to him after the surgery. I mean, when I first saw this picture, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that was Ben Simmons. I thought it was someone else, and then I was like, oh, that's actually Ben Simmons. I mean, he looks not like Ben Simmons here. I don't know if I'm losing my fucking mind, but there he is, throwing up the peace sign. Surgery went well. Thanks for all the well wishes. God bless. So good for him. Great surgery. We'll see what happens when training camp comes. If he plays, if he trains, if he's back for opening night next year, and if even the Nets are the same team, if Kyrie's there, if KD's there, which he probably will be, but we'll see what happens with the Nets and Ben Simmons going into next year. But moving on to the games that happened, there was no games last night for some reason. They gave everyone a rest day. A bunch of pussies in this league, but it's all good. So we'll go back to the games that happened on Tuesday and Wednesday. The opening game on Tuesday was the Bucks and Celtics. The Bucks couldn't win Game 2 and shock the Celtics at home in the Garden. Giannis, I think, started out this game about 1 for 10. Wasn't doing a whole lot. Ended up dropping 28 points on terrible efficiency. Brooke Lopez and Wesley Matthews continue not to do shit, really. They dropped a combined 4 points on 4 shots. I mean, I know they're not really out there to score the ball a lot, but I mean, that's really not really productive for two people getting 30 and 25 minutes. But, it is what it is. Drew Holiday needs to be the second star for this team if they want to have a chance of winning the series without Chris Middleton. He wasn't that on this night. He goes 19 points on 7 for 20 shooting, 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. And Bobby Portis gets 13, 5 for 7. They got pretty good production from Pat Connaughton off the bench, 13 points on great efficiency, and no one else really did a whole lot. Only really two other players played off the bench, Javon Carter, who was just there for pretty much defensive reasons, and Grayson Allen, who didn't put up a lot of shots. So not a lot to say about the Bucks here. They kind of got mopped this game. They wasn't really competitive, but move on to the Celtics box score. Jaylen Brown was the reason they really pulled out and won this game. He started out really hot. He was like 8 for 8 or like 7 for 8 from deep, or not from deep, but just from the field. So he started out this game really hot, ended with 30 points on 11 for 18 shooting. He was the big reason they won this game. Tatum had a nice game too, 29 points. Grant Williams is off the bench, has been a big player in these playoffs. He's been like lights out from 3. He went 6 for 9 this game. So if he can continue playing like that, I mean, there'll be a big problem. I mean, they really only have a 7-man rotation. They obviously didn't have Smart this game, so that shortened it a little bit, but no one else really got minutes with Smart not playing. Maybe Pritchard got a little bit more and Derek White, but yeah, I don't know. Pritchard didn't do a whole lot in his time playing. He only got 6 points, 2 threes. They get 3 assists though, so that's great. But yeah, overall big win for the Celtics. They tie up the series going into Milwaukee, and we'll see what they can do in the good old Wisconsin area. But we'll move on to the night game on Tuesday. The Warriors. I mean, there was more to this game than just the actual game. There was the Dillon Brooks foul and suspension, and the Draymond flipping off the crowd, which we're going to do later after this. But for the box score itself, we have Curry dropping 27 points on not great efficiency. Clay only getting 12 and 41 minutes on terrible efficiency. I mean, no one really played great. I mean, Jordan Poole off the bench was alright. He shot 50% from the field, but not good from 3, 1 for 6. The Warriors just didn't play very good this game. They just didn't have a great shooting, just not good overall. Draymond had 6 points. I mean, you don't expect a lot from him shooting. They just really were bad from 3, 7 for 38, 18%. It's not going to win you a lot of basketball games, and especially when John Morant is out there dropping 47 points. He had a pretty star-making performance. I mean, he was already a star, but this really, sets him apart in most people's eyes, probably, dropping 47 on that efficiency, about like 50%. Especially with no one else really doing a whole lot, he really had to be that main superstar in this game and on this team for him to pull this out. Seeing as Jaren Jackson had a big game in Game 1, didn't do a whole lot in Game 2, went 3 for 14, 12 points. Dillon Brooks, who obviously only played 3 minutes, getting the flagrant 2 in the first 3 minutes of the game, so he didn't play. Desmond Bane only got 5 points. You want to see him do more. And off the bench, you got decent production from people like Brandon Clark. Tyus Jones didn't really do shit, but Zaire Williams was alright, 4 for 8 from 3. Yeah, the Grizzlies pulled out. They even up the series going into Game 3, I think it's on Saturday. So they'll be playing in the Chase Center in good old San Francisco. So we'll see how this series tilts. But we'll get into more, the bigger stories from this game, you could say. And I'm going to kick it now to the video of Dillon Brooks getting the foul. And we'll discuss it after this video plays. So let's just watch this real quick.
8-1, Grizzlies in front. Curry tries to give it up for Green. He gets hit in the face and he's down. And Green is still down.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, folks. I'm not going to lie that this is a foul on me. This is damn near a flagrant on me. This is despicable. I would like to apologize to our fellow infamous NBA fans. That was actually the Draymond middle finger video, not the Dillon Brooks video. That's on me. I will take that wholeheartedly to the chest. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen, and we're going to kick it now to the Dillon Brooks foul, and then we'll discuss it after. So that's on me. That one is on me. That was not the right video, but it happens. Mistakes happen in this business. You just got to push through and act like it didn't happen. So that's what we're going to do right now. Pretend you didn't see what you just saw. This is what you're meant to see. Now I'm going to kick it to this video, and we'll discuss after. Thank you very much.
Golden State still looking to crack the seal. Payton right down the middle. He's fouled hard. And Payton's in pain. It was right at the end. Morant grabbed him initially, then Brooks got there late with the swipe, and he clubbed him on the side of the head.
Foul the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty, too, for wind-up, impact, and follow-through to the head. While the player was prone to injury, Dillon Brooks will be ejected from the game. Gary Payton will shoot
so
2.
A flagrant 2. Brooks is done.
Okay, so that's that.
USAA is made.
Thanks for the ad. I'm not gonna watch you, but yeah, that was basically the injury to Gary Payton that's gonna knock him out of this playoffs completely with a fractured left arm. I think it was. Now, was that intentional? I don't think so. He was just going up to try to make a play on the ball, get a block, and obviously he didn't get high enough. He just kind of hit his arms and he fell down. Unfortunately, got injured. But was he trying to injure him? I don't think so. And that results in Dylan Brooks getting suspended in Game 3, which I definitely don't agree with. I mean, it's unfortunate that Gary Payton got injured, but I don't think it was with intent to like go up and foul him like that. I mean, if I think of maybe a flagrant one at most should have been called there, but I think it really like amped it up seeing as he got injured, so it's made it look worse than it really was. But it's unfortunate that it happened, but I mean, it's it's basketball, it's sports. I mean, shit like that's gonna happen. So Dylan Brooks is not gonna be playing for this next game. We'll see if how that affects the Grizzlies. And Gary Payton's always not gonna be playing for the rest of the playoffs. So it's unfortunate for both sides, but that's basketball, baby. Well, as we'll move on to the video that was supposed to be played earlier, but we're gonna pretend that we're just now seeing it, which is the Draymond injury and the double middle fingers, and we'll discuss it after this video plays. So let's take a look here. Tune in.
8-1, Grizzlies in front. Curry tries to give it up for Green. He gets hit in the face and he's down. And Green is still down. Draymond Green going for the loose ball here. He took an elbow from Tillman. And that is Michigan State against Michigan State. A timeout has been called. Bang, right there. Across the nose. We'll step aside. Moments ago, Draymond Green heading to the locker room. He had a message for the Grizzlies fans as he was walking to the tunnel. Blood was drawn as he took that shot.
Alright, well there that is. I mean, he gives him the double bird. I mean, it's an unfortunate foul. Obviously, there was no intent with that. I don't think there was anything called on that. Xavier Tillman just was going for the ball, gives him an elbow. His eye was like pretty close shut. He got a mean shiner from it. And then I don't know, I'm sure fans were like, "You fucking suck, Draymond, you fucking ugly donkey bitch." And then he was like, "Yo, fuck you, dude." So he threw up the double middle fingers, and I mean, I mean, I don't really give a shit. I mean, he got fined, I think, but I mean, that's like him dropping $20 on the ground and just being like, "Oh, fuck it." So that doesn't really affect him, but I mean, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I think it's pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, you get fucking fouled, you get people talking shit, give him the double bird. Eat that, bitch. I mean, I'm a fan. I mean, I'm sure people hate Draymond because he's like, I don't know, he's a fucking asshole, I guess, but I mean, I like it. I would continue to do it. I like seeing shit like that in sports. It makes it more like enjoyable, and like it's like when Trae Young last year was going against the Knicks, and it was like New York versus Trae Young, and he owned them. I mean, now that's a good story. It would have been without that series wouldn't have been as like good, but with that, it made it great. So I think shit like this isn't really a problem, but some people don't like it, and to them, people that don't like it, I just think you're a big fat pussy. So that's my thoughts on that. Draymond gets injured, he'll be fine though, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But those are the big main two stories from that game, really, besides the game itself, was the Dylan Brooks foul and suspension, and Draymond Green giving the double bird to the fans, which I don't care. So, moving on to Wednesday's games. There was no games on Thursday. So this is the latest games we got. We have the Sixers versus the Heat. I mean, everyone tried their best. I mean, Tobias Harris, 21 points. Tyrese Maxey's really the best player on this team, which is just shocking to say when James Harden has been a league leader in points per game many times and one of the best players in the game for many years. But this year, since he's gotten traded, he's just taken a major step back. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if he just can't get used to the system. I don't know what would be the issue, but he's just not been playing well at all. He only gets 20 points on 6 for 15 shooting and 7 for 7 from the line. I mean, 9 assists is good, but I mean, if you don't have Joel Embiid on this court, the only way you're going to win games is if James Harden is dropping like 30. I'm voice tracking a lot. I haven't had a lot of water today. I'm freshly woken up, so I do apologize, but we're going to push through. So James Harden only gets 20 points. I mean, if you're gonna have any chance in this series, he needs to drop 30 minimum. What I would say, but he's just, I guess, not that guy anymore. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if the Popeyes biscuits really got to him. He's like overeating. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. I think maybe it's the braids. Maybe it's hair braided back. Ever since he's done that, he hasn't been the same. Maybe he's go with like the hawk again. Get the mohawk up there. Maybe that'll boost his play. But right now he's playing like an absolute shit can. So you're not going to be able to beat the Heat, who are a well-rounded, well-run team with James Harden doing 20 points a game and being the third leading scorer in this series behind Maxey and Harris. You're just not going to win. So if they lose this series, besides giving the obvious blame to Joel Embiid not playing, which isn't his fault, he got injured when he shouldn't have been playing in the first place. But you put the blame on Harden when you end up losing this series, probably in a sweep. So there's only one person to look at. He's going to opt into a big player option, I think, this year, which he's obviously not going to decline. So he'll be getting paid a fuck ton of money next year to do jack shit for this team, which it looks like he's not doing much. I mean, maybe he can turn around next year and get back to his old self, but it doesn't look like it's very possible. And he's not even a supermax player anymore. So what do you do if you're the Sixers? I mean, you don't. If you give him that supermax, you'll be paying him a shit ton of money till he's like 37. And if he's gonna give you this production, I mean, you just move off him immediately and don't even risk it at all. But they made that trade for him, so now they're kind of in a shit place. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, they lose the game. No Embiid. He's not playing Game 3 either, so they're probably gonna lose that game. I mean, this series is pretty much over. I mean, I picked the Sixers to win, thinking Embiid would play, thinking Harden would give a little bit more than what he's given, but it's just not working out. So this series is gonna not be very competitive in my eyes and move on to the Heat box score. I mean, they don't even have Kyle Lowry playing, and they're still handily beating the Sixers. They get 22 and 23 from Butler and Adebayo. Adebayo has been really good this series. They get 18 and 19 from Oladipo and Tyler Hero off the bench. So I mean, this is a really well-rounded team. I mean, Oladipo and Hero off the bench is. They'd both start for many teams. So getting them off the bench when other teams' bench players are in the game is very nice. Strauss. I mean, no one really else did a whole lot besides them four, but you don't really need a lot from the other guys like Gabe Vincent. He's been alright in these playoffs. PJ Tucker is just a corner three specialist. I'm sure his two made shots were 2 corner threes. So he's just there playing defense, doing all that type of thing. Jimmy Butler had 12 assists. So that's good. Don't really look at him as like a real playmaker, but with Kyle Lowry not playing, he takes like more of that playmaker like leadership and role on this team. So yeah, I mean the Heat win. What was the score of this game? 119-103. So just another not real close blowout. Duncan Robinson hasn't been playing in the series, so I don't know if it's just a matchup thing that they see that they don't want him out there, but he hasn't played a lot. He only played 1 minute in this game, didn't do anything. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the Heat win this series in 4. I think they'll win next game, and they'll be down 3-0. They won't bring Embiid back because what's the point? We were down 3-0, and they'll probably go out in 4. So that's my prediction for this series. We'll see how it plays out. But we'll move on now to some trade rumors as we just quickly move through this episode. But it's okay. Some of them, they can all be quick, just quick hitters. This is for the people with ADHD and shit. It's just like you got to keep moving, keep your fucking focus on one thing. So that's what I'm trying to do. So we'll see how it works. We go into some trades now, some hypothetical Lakers trades. I know there's a fuck ton of Lakers fans out there from all over the globe. So we'll take a look at some of these articles that I found about trades for your team, and we'll just hang on to discuss them and see, what looks good, what looks shit. So the first one of 5 we have for the Lakers is, let's read the headline first. Lakers land a playmaker and a good shooter. Now, before I go into this, I don't think many of these trades are going to happen, but we'll just discuss them for the fuck of it. Okay, so the trade details are Malcolm Brogdon and Buddy Hield for Russell Westbrook. I mean, instant decline. Like, if I was on the phone, let's pretend I'm the Pacers GM. I don't know who it is. Am I Larry Bird? Let's pretend I'm Larry Bird. I pick up the phone. Ring, 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 ring. Rob Pelinka's calling. Okay, let me see what he wants. Hey, Rob. Oh, you want to do a trade? Okay, let's hear the details. I'm interested. We're a rebuilding team. We could use some fits. Let's take a look. Can we get some draft picks? No draft picks? Oh, it could still be good. Okay, let me hear what you got. Okay, you want Brogdon? And you want Buddy? Okay. Oh, you said you didn't say Anthony Davis. Wait, hold on. Bad connection. Hold on. What was that? You said Russell Westbrook. Click. That's if I'm the Pacers GM, that's what I do immediately after they say for Russell Westbrook. But let's just get into hypotheticals. Let's say they somehow look at this trade and give it a thought. We'll read the paragraph. I think it's retarded. maybe I shouldn't use that word. I think it's dumb. A very realistic deal could see Malcolm Brogdon and Buddy Hield go to Los Angeles at the expense of Russell Westbrook. But why Indiana give up two starting caliber play aid for an aging veteran who is set to make over 40 million next year? The answer is because Russell is off the books after next year, and the Pacers can continue to rebuild around Tyrese Halliburton empty space. Okay, well the headline kind of makes sense, but I still wouldn't do this because I think it's retarded, not retarded, dumb. Like I said earlier, I'm not using that word. I do apologize, but that's my mindset. Um, yeah, Russell Westbrook to the Pacers. I mean, that's ugly. That's hideous. For Brogdon to Hield, I mean, it'd be good for the Lakers. I mean, getting anything for Russell Westbrook would be good for the Lakers. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it doesn't make sense if they want to clear up cap space. I mean, it'd be 40 mil off the books. They obviously want to re-sign him, and if they did re-sign him, God bless Pacers fans around the world. But I just don't like that very much. But that's one trade that they have out there, and I don't know why they have Buddy in 91 and Brogdon 55. I mean, two of the ugliest looking numbers you could ever think of, but we'll move on to the next trade. Reading the headline: Hustle and grit mixed with experience. Okay, here we go. So they would send Russell and Taylor Horton Tucker to the Hornets in exchange for Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. Yet again, instant phone click. I would never do this. Russell Westbrook, we saw last year. I don't care if people are gonna say, "Oh, it's the fit, it's the fit, it's the fit, it's the fit." Oh my God, it didn't work, it didn't work. Oh my God, it's the coach, it's the coach. He fucking sucks at basketball. He was okay when he was in his first couple years doing the whole triple double nonsense, where everyone was like, "Holy shit, this guy's better than LeBron James. Look how no one's ever done this before." Then people slowly, quickly realized, oh, he's just padding stats, and in reality, he's dog shit and can't shoot the ball. So I don't know, but yeah, if you can get Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier for Russell Westbrook and Horton Tucker in a first round pick, I mean, I'm not trying to get sexual or anything, but I might, I mean, come in my pants if I was the Lakers, because that's, I mean, are you kidding me? Russell Westbrook for Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. I mean, Gordon Hayward's been very injury prone, and Terry Rozier is a nice piece. I mean, he's better than Russ. I'm taking Rozier over Russ right now. I'm not gonna lie. Fight me. I mean, come with the pitchforks. Come with the fucking nightstands. I don't care. That's my opinion. And 2027 first round pick. We're in the year 2022. I mean, in 5 years, LeBron will be fucking owning this team. So who cares about a 2027 first round pick? Doesn't mean shit. But yeah, the Lakers get those two. They get Horton Tucker a first and Russell. I'd yet again. I mean, I wouldn't do any of these trades on the team getting Russ, but for the team losing, for the Lakers losing Russ, I'd do it. Let's read the paragraph. See what they say. The Los Angeles Lakers need to move on from Westbrook. No shit. Not because he was solely at blame for the Lakers season, but because he does not fit with LeBron James. Russ cannot space the floor. No shit. And needs the ball to be impactful. No shit. But there is no way James should ever play off the ball considering what he has done over his career. One option for the Lakers to move on from Russ is calling up Michael Jordan's team. And that's not a bad idea because Michael Jordan's a fucking idiot owner, as we've seen. Has he won a playoff game? Probably with Kemba, but I mean he hasn't had success, and this would also be an unsuccessful move. But you never know with teams and owners and what their values are. I mean, I'm just an idiot from Yuba City, California, who doesn't know a whole lot, but it's just my opinion. Moving on to the third trade, which also involves Russ. I promise the last two won't, but we'll get over the Russ saga after this trade. Headline: ice in the veins back in LA. That's cool. So this would be D'Lo for Russ yet again. Why the fuck would the Wolves do this? I mean, D'Lo is a very, very good third option for the T-Wolves. So why would you try? Let me just read the paragraph before I give my thoughts. Okay, let me do that. Let me reverse it for this one. Let's read. A direct swap could see the Lakers welcome back their former guard, D'Angelo Russell. Russell was supposed to be the Lakers' future when he was on the roster at ages 19 and 20. The guard is an exceptional offensive player when he's playing at his best because he has the ability to shoot the ball from deep and also attack the rim. So they didn't really give me a fucking reason why Russell would go to the Timberwolves, but just off of this, I don't like it at all. I like it yet again for the Lakers, but if I'm let's say I'm Aaron, hold on. What am I saying? Aaron Rodriguez? Yeah, let's say I'm him. I pick up the phone, or Alex Rodriguez, not Aaron Rodriguez. I'm assuming him of Aaron Hernandez. That's not what I meant. Aaron Hernandez is not who I was talking about. I'm talking about Alex Rodriguez, the steroid user. So if I'm him, I pick up the phone. Here we go. Oh, D'Lo. Oh, for Russ. Oh, hey, Rob. Listen, can you hear me? Okay, go fuck yourself. Click. That's yet again what I'm doing. I don't understand why teams want to trade for Russ unless they want to get him off the books and create cap space. That's the only destination I see for Russ to get off of the Lakers. I don't really see any of these trades happening for him. We'll see. I mean, there's a chance he gets traded for something. I mean, he's not like I mean, to me, he has no value, seeing as what he's doing. I know the fit. I know the coach, and yet again, I don't give a fuck. I think he sucks. Moving on though to another player who's been kind of shaky the past year, cause injured all the time. When he was playing, he was horseshit. So we'll see how AD can come back. But here are some couple trades for him that I think are interesting. Okay. Headline: Lakers build a team around LeBron James. I think that's what they've been doing for 4 years. But if that's what you want to name the headline, is that now they're going to build a team around him? Sure. Okay. Whatever you say. So this is a big boy trade. This is a fat one. We'll get through it though. John Collins, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter in a first round and a second round for Anthony Davis. Now, if Anthony Davis can return to like bubble form and be bubble Davis, I would like this, I guess, for the Hawks getting an actual superstar for Trae Young. I mean, they would lose a lot of like their role players and pieces, and they would have to find other ways to sign like veterans and shit. But we'll see. We'll read the paragraph. I'll give some more thoughts on it. Atlanta Hawks need to make changes, and the Los Angeles Lakers need to do too. Need to do too? That's not what I meant. Do too. Luckily, there could be a deal on the table for both sides. The Hawks barely got into the playoffs this year, and only Trae Young can be considered untouchable at this point. The guard is putting up monster numbers on the court for Atlanta as he continues to get better. So there's probably more to this that I didn't screenshot. My apologies. But yes, Anthony Davis to me with Trae Young would be very good for the Hawks, and obviously, I mean, for the Lakers losing AD, but if you're getting back Hunter, you're getting back Collins, you're getting back Capella, I mean, that adds so much depth to their team that they're severely fucking lacking that I wouldn't hate it. And they get a first round pick this year, and a 2026 second. I mean, who gives a shit? That's just a throw in. But I don't hate this trade necessarily for either side. Will it happen? Probably not. I don't think AD gets traded, but maybe. We never know if LeBron could make some moves and be like, this team fucking blows. I'm running out of years to be good and play basketball, so let's just do it. But I don't know. And then we're going closing out our trade talk. We have the blockbuster deal of the summer. Sounds like an instant fucking classic. Okay, so the trade is to the Heat. It would be Bam, Hero, Gabe Vincent. I pick up the phone, click. Okay, for Anthony Davis. I mean, okay, so they would have a core of what would it be? Butler, Kyle Lowry, AD, and then just mix and match the players they have. Strus. I don't think. I mean, Oladipo's probably not going to be there next year. He's probably going to get a bigger contract, and I've heard rumors of him going to Sacramento. That would definitely be a team that would give him a fuck ton of money for whatever reason, because the Kings are poverty, and they're going to hire a priest who sprays magic oils on Curry and his ankles and heals people and it makes Festus Ezeli cry. I mean, what a fucking freak that guy is. But fuck Mark Jackson. We're talking about AD to the Heat. This isn't gonna happen. If it does happen, who is the Heat guy? Oh fuck, not the coach, the guy, fuck. I'm choking. I choked. I don't want to look it up. Should I look it up? I'm not gonna look it up. But you know who I'm talking about. I choked. Yet again, to pick up the phone, click. Bam is young. He's a star for them. Tyler Hero is the sixth man of the year, literally. So why the fuck? I don't get it. Gabe Vincent's a good backup point guard who's young. For Anthony Davis, who's very injury prone, I don't see this being a step forward for the Heat. I mean, if AD could return to his bubble form or anything before that form, I guess it wouldn't be bad. I mean, they'd lose some shooting and scoring with Hero, but I don't know. It'd be a very good defensive team, a sweaty defensive team, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's read the paragraph here. And the first sentence is all I needed to see, but we'll keep going. We'll just read it for the fantasy. There is no question this deal was unrealistic. Okay, well, like I said. But for Lakers fans, this is a deal they absolutely want to see. No shit. Bam Adebayo is an impactful player and is a more impactful player in the NBA right now than Anthony Davis, mainly because he can stay healthy and impacts the game as an all-star on both ends of the floor. Correct. Bam was in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, something Davis has yet to come close to with the Lakers. Well, he has came close because he played a fucking lick of basketball. But yes, I do agree. But yeah, that's another trade that isn't gonna happen. I don't think any of these five are gonna happen. The only one I can actually see is the Hornets because they're fucking retarded. And I mean, that's not a great package getting back Hayward and Rozier, but anything for Russ. So I mean, if I'm going off realistic, I'd say that one is the most and this one is the least. But that's some Lakers trades out there for you guys. I mean, honestly, if you're a Lakers fan, listen to that. You probably hate me because I just kind of shit on both your players a little bit, mostly Russ. But if you're a Lakers fan and like Russ, are you really a Lakers fan? I mean, that's you got to ask yourself some of these questions. But we're gonna close out today's episode with some pretty boring news. But not if you're a Clippers fan or a big Robert Covington fan. I know there's a lot of you out there, a bunch of Rocos out there. You guys make yourselves known. Um, the first contract extension or signing of this year, I guess. I mean, the year isn't even over yet, so it's weird to say. But Robert Covington agrees to a 2-year extension with the Clippers for 2 years, $24 million to return to LA. I mean, he got traded there for what did they even get back? I don't know. The Blazers got some fucking players back. Who the fuck knows? And he went there and he played pretty well. So he's gonna stay in the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers do have a pretty decent team. When Kawhi comes back, Covington played pretty good. He had I think a monster fucking game somewhere in the season where he had I don't know if it was, I think it was 45 points. I want to say it was 45 points. It might have been 35, but it was more than 30. So that's career night for Rocco. So he goes back to the Clippers. He returns to LA. Is it a big move? Does it really matter? Not fucking really. But I mean, I threw it in here because it's news, and I needed to fill the show. So there's a reason for everything. But as with that, we close out episode 2 of Infamous NBA. I think I did an alright job. A lot of cursing, a lot of vulgar stuff. I do apologize if there's kids watching, but I'm not a family-friendly person, so I want to say that now. You have been warned. I know it's at the end that you've been warned, but for future episodes, you have been warned. I was writing this episode out solo dolo. I needed to bring some entertainment value. I needed to lift my character, or well, I'm not really well, I was lifting my character so that I could make it more entertaining for the 3 people that are gonna watch this. And for you 3 people out there, I bet you're fucking entertained. So with that being said, that's Infamous NBA. That's Brock, aka Infamous. Yes, sir. And with that, we're gonna close out today's episode. We'll see you back here next Friday, sometime. I'm not sure when. Hopefully, we'll have more to talk about, and we'll have 2 people here. But it's all right. We like writing solo. We'll see how it goes. Thank everyone for watching. It's been a long, drawn out outro for no reason, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right now.